I wanted to show you, uh, it's a product that it's actually not new. It's actually, I don't know if you ever heard it. The name is, well, they call it TVP. It's called textured vegetable protein. It actually was very famous in the 70s, and suddenly it kind of like today that they do like the Beyond Burger and I don't know what, they make a lot more processed stuff than what this is. What this is I'm going to explain to you what it is, but I'm going to show you, we're going to start some of the cooking just because of the timing here. I'm going to go into steps. First, I'm going to start sauteing my veggies. And then I'll take, so this is what I was telling you about. This is the textured vegetable protein. It looks like some like grits. I don't know if grits are actually like, what's that cereal that is really crunchy? Grape nuts. It kind of looks like grape nuts if you can see it closer. Um, but I'll talk about it later. So I have my oil here, and these are my ingredients that I'm going to do. I'm gonna do a version like almost like a stuffing, like a taco stuffing. Some onions, bell peppers, red bell peppers. If you want a little spice to this, I am going. You can add a little like a chopped jalapeno fresh. Take out the seeds to avoid like really spicy. And then you can. I'm gonna give you what you see the recipe. I'm adding seasoning. We've done this in the past. It's called a Mexican spice blend. Basically, it has a spice blend of dried onion, dried garlic, some pepper, some paprika, cumin. So you'll see it in the recipe, and you can mix it ahead in advance and keep it in your pantry. And then you add like a half a tablespoon to this. You see how good it is. So I have my pan hot, and I'm going to go ahead and add my aromatics already in a little bit of olive oil. And you'll see it on the start sauteing. The other ingredients that we're going to have, I'll move you back here, some tomatoes, chopped. These are fresh tomatoes. If you have canned chopped tomatoes, that's fine. You can use them too. Sometimes the fresh tomatoes right now, they're not as great. A little bit of cilantro, some green beans that we're going to dice. We may have serve a little bit of avocado and a little bit of with a lime juice and some garlic. So while this cooks, I'm going to now introduce you to the TVP. So this is what you will find it in their market. It's called these TVP, textured vegetable protein. So this is these crumbs. They come made from soybeans. It's just soybeans that have been kind of dehydrated, and the fat is removed from it to give them like a longer shelf life. You can buy a bag. One of these bags, it's about 12 ounces. It costs like $4 or something like that. Depends where you get it. But actually, it's also like Sam was saying, this is a very inexpensive way to add really high source of protein. So one bag of this, it says it has like 15 servings. So it's quite a bit of punch. Of course, you're going to add all the veggies and everything in here. Going back to our, so what you're going to do is it needs to be hydrated. I'm going to just season briefly with a little pepper. As we talk, a little bit of salt. Then I have some red, I didn't put the jalapeno, but I'm going to add some red chili peppers. Just a little bit, give it a little, not too much. You can add more later. Same thing with salt. You can always add more later. You want to definitely saute. So in a way, we're doing what sometimes we call in Latin American cuisine, like sofrito. It's a little bit of a, this is going to get really soft. And so let me get back to, so you put the texture protein from the package there, and then you have boiling water, and you're gonna add about 1 cup. I have here already done boiling water. So it's about 3/4 of a cup of the TVP, and then about 1 cup of hot boiling water, okay? So you're just gonna grab and just add it in there. And with a spoon, you mix it. It's almost a little bit like when you do couscous, you know, it's really fast. So this is basically where you're hydrating it, is getting it soft. Forget about those grape nuts that are so hard and chewy. No, this is gonna be really soft. So I've done one before. So you're gonna wait about maybe not even 15 minutes or something like that to soak it. It'll just absorb all the water. And this is what you get. This is the texture. So if you see, it almost looks like meat crumbs, like you would do. It looks like the color is a little more like turkey or chicken ground than like beef is, but it's a really good source of protein. So so that's how you hydrate and you'll have it ready. So now with my veggies, I'm going to chop quickly a little bit of garlic. If you're adding some of that Mexican spice blend that I mentioned, that has garlic in it and chopped onion, so you can just not add garlic, but I like the fresh kind always. Give it a nice mince. So this is up to you, how many ingredients. You can add carrots to this mix. You can add, we're gonna add the green beans too. But yeah, it's really up to you what you add. So we're gonna go ahead, add my garlic in the pan, all of it. Over here, so you can see. I'm gonna raise the heat a little bit more. So this you'll cook it for about, I don't know, 6 to 7 minutes. They should definitely be soft. Actually, some of the colors of the peppers should be getting like a little like duller maybe as it cooks. You don't want like to burn this, definitely. Let me just, while we wait for that, I'm gonna grab these are just green beans. They're not cooked, these are raw. So I'm gonna add them in there. So they'll start cooking. And actually, I'm gonna add them almost at the same time. I'm gonna add the tomatoes and the TVP. So the TVP, it's like, once it's hydrated with the boiling water, then you could do whatever you want cooking with them, anything really. So this is like a version, it's almost like I guess, a chili. So in goes into I'm gonna add my green beans. As I cook with the onions, the peppers, and then I can add my tomatoes. So the tomatoes are naturally going to give them needed liquid, so it's continued cooking. You will. So the interesting thing about the TVP is it basically is very neutral in flavor. It's not unlike tofu. I mean, it's obviously it's almost like tofu in the sense of, well, it comes from soy, it's the same, but it's like you will get a lot of the flavor from it. You will add it with all the spices you add, like I was mentioning, some cumin, some chili flakes, whatever you add. So then we're gonna go ahead and add them. You see, I mean, it looks like a turkey chili. Something maybe you can do it at home. Have some friends over and let them try once you season it well and all that. And then you can not tell them what it is, and they can guess later. Of course, one thing we have to note is soy. You know, some people may be allergic to soy. That is an allergen, like many other allergens. Like this is a gluten-free product. So if you have gluten issues, this is good for you. But if you obviously are allergic to soy, well, then you, of course, shouldn't have it. And then finally, so that as that cooks, it'll start making all the juices. You can cover it at this point and let it cook so that the green beans steam. So we're gonna cover that for a second. And I'm just going to prep so how we're gonna serve it. So we're gonna add little, we're gonna do a lime. I'm gonna garnish it with a little bit of lime. a couple of these slices like that. Remember, we have our cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, don't add it. But of course, I love cilantro. So I'm just gonna, this one you can add almost at the end, because it'll just infuse the perfume and the flavor from it. I was also gonna say for the TVP, obviously it's a very good source of protein. It's low in fat, and it's good source of fiber. It also has good iron and potassium in it. Then I was gonna, then I'm gonna slice my avocado so you can serve it with a couple of slices of avocado. So we'll scoop this.
Beautiful avocado.
I know, it's really nice. I just got it yesterday night and I was like, oh, it's gonna be hard. But no, they had soft ones and it does look pretty.
And cilantro is one of my favorite herbs. I love cilantro.
I love cilantro too. But some people just can't have them, which is okay. You can add parsley for all of what it's fine too. It's just a different flavor. Okay, so let's give a look back. So it's, give it a stir. You could add a little bit of water if it starts to stick a little bit to the, this is not sticking, this is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and add my cilantro. And once you add the cilantro, you like cook it for a little bit more. This is not like, you know, like beef that you will need to cook it fully and, you know, because it's already, once you hydrate it, it just cooks. There's nothing else you have to do. It's cooked. So this is the texture you end up, and I'm going to show you just the way you can. I made a little bit earlier, and see, it looks just like a chili. It gets all the colors. It's nice and warm. This one will cook a little longer, but then, and I want to show you how to serve it. So many ways to serve it. So you can do, I have a plate and I have a mix of like, this is some wild rice and brown rice mixed together. So we can, I'm gonna go ahead, put a couple of slices of our avocado. And then you can just about a cup or so with a little bit of the juices. You can sprinkle a little more cilantro, and that's it. This is like, and put a couple of slices of your lime so you can squeeze it. And, or you can do it with the rice. You can do it with corn tortillas. You can make tacos out of it with corn tortillas, just the filling. It's great. Or a baked potato or a baked sweet potato, and you put it on top like a jacket potato. And that's another option. So it's great. So make sure to try this and give it your taste with whatever seasonings you want to add, because it's up to you, really, on what you like. What other dishes can you use TVP in? So just similar to what we've done here with a lot of spices, you could do like, you know, the version of like beef stroganoff, for example, that you put mushrooms in it and you will like season it with like also mushroom powder, I think it has, onions, and you could use the same, but you just substitute it. You do a veggie, like a turkey chili, you can do that with the TVP. It's up to any dish consistency that has this crumbly texture, you can do it like that. You could also use it just simply as, like, for example, in soups, like in a butternut squash soup, you just add the already the pre-hydrated TVP, just add it to your soup before serving, and you're boosting that a lot of protein in it.